Never, before, seen pictures showing doting grandfather King Charles with his two oldest grandchildren have been spotted in a special BBC documentary. The previously unseen photos that show Prince George and Princess Charlotte featured in the film Charles R., The Making of a Monarch, which aired last night. The documentary charted the king's early years right up until his accession last year using a host archive footage and images. And eagle-eyed royal fans spotted two images in the program that they had never seen before. The first showed Charles, in around 2016, playing with his granddaughter Charlotte, who is still just a baby. Meanwhile, another shot shows him with future King George at a tea party thought to be in the same year, with Charles pointing out something of interest as the youngster clutches a glass of juice. Another snap of the king cuddling Prince Louis was also shown, although this has been seen in the past. The snaps featured over Charles speaking in a previous interview about what drives him in his quest for protecting the environment. He said, "I mind so much about the future, what we're going to leave to our children and grandchildren. That's what really gets me going." Taking to Twitter, one viewer wrote, "He is a wonderful grandpa and clearly has a beautiful and close relationship with Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis." While another said, "Just look how adorable they are. He is such a wonderful grandpa. So glad they have him around," and vice versa. However, the snaps weren't the only unseen images to have featured in the show. It also featured footage that was filmed as part of the firm's Fly on the Wall documentary Royal Family, which came out in 1969 to provide a more intimate glimpse into royal life. In it, a youthful-looking then Prince of Wales can be heard talking about his family over clips of him and the late Queen, who would have only then been 17 years into what would become an unprecedented 70-year reign. Footage shows Charles decorating a Christmas tree with the Princess Royal, building a bonfire at Sandringham, and on an official visit to the Royal Mint with his parents as audio plays him talking about how he sees his family and the role they play in Britain. He says, "I like to think of it more as a family than a firm, I think. I tend to think of my family as very special people. In that sense, I'm only beginning to see my parents and the rest of my family as other people. Do you know what I mean? That you look upon them as having their own different characteristics." The documentary at the time made waves as being an unusually rare insight into royal life behind the palace walls and was watched by 38 million people in the UK when it aired on BBC and ITV. The late Queen had the program banned, reportedly in a backtrack on the family's privacy, although this was disputed by royal biographer and Daily Mail columnist Robert Hardman, who instead insisted this was due to copyright reasons.